once again, we're back as TheAnonymousFX, and we're back to give you our daily or the weekly market outlook for next week, which now is the week that begins on the 14th of March up until the 18th of March, right? So we're gonna start with dollar index, and the way we've been doing things still the same, nothing different. Still starting with the highest time frame, which is daily. Just see what is it that you can get from daily, and then from there we move to to move down the time frames. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my highs. But I'm gonna start with my highs that we currently have, just to see what is it that you can get from it on a lower time frame. And then from there I'm gonna move to my lows and then see what is it that you can get from the lowest time frame. As you can see that they are very clear. There's nothing that is giving a bit of a different feeling or whatever. We still just have them as highs and lows. You could have this, but now market has moved up, so this is introduced this. Also the next one, also this one. We just use the ones that haven't been violated. So going to the other side, the ones that had never been or haven't been violated as yet, it's this one and the second one, right? And then going to the downside, the ones that haven't been violated, it's this one and this one and this one. So I could go down and also just come here and also just come here, but for now they're not deemed to be worthy. It's because they're very far from the market can just come to this one and then go to the upside. So just focus on the recent ones. So we move to 4 hours just to see what is 4 hours showing, but before that we need to fix our levels, right? So it's fixing our levels. It means now we need to make them to be as closer to the body as possible. So this one would be closer to the body, this one would be closer also to the body. As soon as we fix them, we change this to daily low, then we just name them. Change it to daily low, change this to daily low. I know they moved a bit to the right. Change this to daily low, and then from there we move and check the next ones. Right, I'm gonna check the next ones. When you check this one, you can see that the next level is this one, and I'll just name it to daily high. From there, just move back to the market. And you can see we're very close to hitting the next target, but for now we're just gonna wait. So also in 4 hours, I'm just gonna fix this, say from here to here, just not that one, to turn line from here to here. You can see that price is approaching that high, right? It's indeed approaching the high, and we just want to see what will kind of happen when it gets to that high. But also we have a bit of also another one which is down here, but you're just going to fix it just to make it more adjustable to the current market, right? And from there we look at the trend and the higher highs and higher lows, right? The higher low is 1, 2. Those are the higher lows that we have in a 4 hour perspective, because price push to get a higher high created a higher low, and whatever that is created here is a high high because it's higher than this, right? And then for lower highs, well, no, higher highs I meant to say, we could probably get a higher high there, but for now we just wait and see what the market will show us. But now for a trend that is within this, we need to also see what is happening. At that, I deem it to be a 1 hour say information or information that you can get from 1 hour. But also you can see that even on 4 hours, this is a high, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? And then as you can see, we just deem it also as a 4 hour higher low, a recent 4 hour higher low. And if you have followed us for quite some time, you will understand that we mark the recent higher lows. Because if I mark this one, mark this one, mark that one, mark that one, make the chart a bit too messy. So that's why we don't want to do that. So now what you're going to do is we're going to move to 1 hour. When you move to 1 hour and fix this level, just also write it inside for each higher low. I guess it's because it's not big enough for it to appear, or even if it did appear, it would be appearing from a bit far. So we do this, just also make it more visible. C16, yes. So it's visible now, right? You're gonna see. And now what we're looking at is the very same thing I was just drawing inside. We're looking at this. What we see is that there's a bit of a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, and then it's a higher low, and then this probably would be a high high. But now that's not the end of it, right? That's not the end of it. If I take a bit of a trend line here and then put it there with the 4-hour high low, just put also this, another one, and also just take the very same one up here, just at this one, the trend line, just to also understand what is happening. You can see that we have reached this. But this could potentially be an easy trap, because price could just come down and then make people think it's selling and then hit the stop loss, because stop loss would be up here and then from there it would drop. But for now, because this is just an index, we just wait to see what will happen. Right? For our perspective, we would be anticipating that price would just be breaking below this. As soon as price breaks below this, that's when we'll be anticipating to see sales or anything. Then this is the only thing that we have on dollar index. But for our perspective, just to see it on our side perspective, also including the 1 hour zones, you can see that we have it like this. So anticipating something like this, where price will still push up, and then from there you could see price coming to the downside. It either come here to this level, or what you could see from here is we get another drop to the downside from here down to this level, right? That's the only thing we'd be looking forward to. This is another higher low that you could also consider as a level. So I'm not gonna go at it anything, but it's a level, because now we're considering this as a higher low on 4 hours. It's another higher low on 4 hours, but this is a daily low. So price could just come here and then continue to the upside, or in fact it will come here and then continue dropping to the downside. But the only thing that we'll do is just to see how the price will react to the certain levels. So this is what we have on dollar index. Let us now move to CAD JPY. So we're gonna start CAD JPY2 on daily, just to see what does daily have for us. You can see it's a bit of pushing to the upside, but we don't really want to go way too back, right? We don't want to go way too back. We just want to understand what is currently happening just here. So the first thing that we understand is that we have our low, we have our high, we have another low, and then we have another low. And unfortunately, there's no other high here in between. We just have to wait and see what is the market showing. Then from there, that is only it. But then we go to 4 hours to just check and also fix the lows and highs. I think this one is okay. Daily low. I think then this one, we'll put it here, another daily low, and then we'll just fix this one, daily high, and then go down to this one and get our daily low too. Right, I think that's the end of our lows, if I'm not wrong. We only had this. So from here, we're just stopping. There's nothing that you're going to be looking at. There's nothing that you're going to be seeing, unless if you're going to want to say, you're just drawing a trend line, but there wouldn't be any purpose for your trend line. But in 1 hour now, this would like, okay, let me just also not move to 1 hour for each, but you could also have a bit of a level here. That is a 4 hour level that could be retested or rejected, or where price could just stop and go down. And then also have another level right here, which also includes the 4 hour level or the daily low here, and then that's it. So we could easily say that this also on its own just gonna would say this level is very important to take note of. And then if price could just come here and then reject here and leave a wick like this and then go to the upside again, because we have been ranging since from Jan and then just ranging, but it's a very tradable range, which is like 200 pips. So this move on its own was like 180 pips. The move to the downside was like 190 pips or 200 pips. So these are the type of ranges that you can get and make money from. So that's it. Then let us move to 1 hour, just see what 1 hour will be showing us. I see already that there is a bit of a higher low up there that price could potentially try and break below, but most probably would see it clearly on 1 hour. But the first thing that we'll do also is what I've also noticed is that we have a 3 touch. We have a 3 touch. Also have another channel here just to show you. We have a 3 touch up there, which is now 1, which is 1, 2 and 3, and then on the downside we have 1. That's not what's supposed to happen. On the downside we have 1 and 2, and as you can see that the market is just clearly showing us that it could potentially drop, because we have also reached a resistance that has been failed to be broken since from January 2nd, if I'm not wrong. January 2nd, January 12th, if I meant to say. So now we're just gonna move to 30 minutes and you'll see this high low if you are second guessing it. This is a high low, price moved up, came back to create a high low, created a high. Now if it breaks below this, then you could take a bit of a trade, or just look to take a trade in it. So from here there's nothing that I can see, because now my trend lines are not proper and I can't be doing this. That's not my style. So 30 minutes we have a bit of a level, and then 1 hour it's also a level that you could potentially also look at these levels, and these levels just to be on the clear path that if price decides to drop, it might push it upside because of these levels, which is 1 and another one which is 2. That's it. Then that's it for CAD JPY. So this is the analysis that we have for CAD JPY. Could potentially see something like this. That's what you could see. We move to 4H, trying to see if there are any levels that could stop us here. I don't see any, so we could potentially have something like this. Right, so that's it. If I do, it would just come also to this, and we'll see that this level would also just be respected, but we're just focusing on it. Now we move to the next one, which is Euro JPY. So Euro JPY has been a bearish type of momentum for the past couple of months. I think not even months. It wasn't bullish up until last year June, then bearish up until August, a bit bullish up until November, dropping from November till December, then went up to Jan, went down, went up now. But then this move is what we focus on, which is a daily move, this from Feb till now, right? So I think it's also from Jan, if I'm not wrong. It's from Feb, from the beginning of Feb till now. So it's a bit bearish. So we're gonna have this, but now I'm gonna also make you understand why I wouldn't consider that as a low, because it has been rejected or it has been violated. So price now has created the one that I want to focus on. As I said, I focus on recent lows. So it's this one, and then we have this one right here, and then the highs, we have this high, okay, right? We have a high up there. That's what we're going to be focusing on. And then we're just gonna move to 4H just to understand what is happening on this trend, and then also just fix our highs and lows. So we only have like 2 highs and 2 lows on daily perspective, and on 4H it will come with not even 2, it's only 3. So we have 2 lows and 1 high. So if this is a low, and then we also have this as a low. Just fix it to daily low, go to the current market. And on 4H, you will see that on 4H we have this as a lower high, we have another one which is this is a lower high, if this is a lower high, right, because this is a lower low, this is a lower high, this is a lower low, this is a lower high, this is a lower low, because it broke below this lower low, and also have this is a lower high. So we have a lot of lower highs that will price decide to 10, right? And then also have this one. But if price decides to go up, then these are the type of levels that we'll be focusing on. These are the type of levels we'll be focusing on if price decides to go up. I just plot these two because those are the ones that make sense to me, and then that's it. So we'll be focusing on these two, and from there, yeah, let me just also duplicate this. Don't know why I took it out, but I wanted to duplicate it. And from there, I'll also make this one I wouldn't say understandable, but no, also be consistent with my levels and how I'm doing them, because I use the body, I use the body and instead of the wick. So I'll start from here, just come here, and then now with the rectangle, I cover the entire wick from body to wick. So and I also extend this to here. As you can see, these are lower highs and price has been bearish, and if we wanted to, we could be having such a similar setup, but it wouldn't make any sense to me. So what we're going to be working on is price breaking above, coming back here, and if it does break above there, then we'll be having price going to the next level, then from there the daily high. That's what could happen if price decide to go bullish. But for a bearish perspective, we can go to 1 hour to see what is it that we're looking forward to. You can see that we have a bit of an ascending channel right here that has been broken, but the breakout of an ascending channel doesn't really phase me out. I'm not looking at it to see if it's going to be broken or further, whatever, but for now I'm looking at this. So I'm looking at the ascending wedge that has been respected, that's the resistance of it, and then support of it has been broken. But what matters the most to me is the higher low, which is just here, which I would want to see it being broken before I even enter the trade. So how would I want to see the trade going down? I want to see the price breaking with testing and then coming down here. And if it does break below there, then what I'll be looking forward to is price breaking that and to the downside. And that's the only thing I'll be looking forward to, and nothing else. And then that's it for your JPY. In a 4 hour perspective, you can see this is what we're looking forward to, and then on a 1 hour perspective, you can see this is what we're looking forward to. So if we go up, it could be more of 100 pips, yes, 140. The next move would be 120. The next move would be 100 pip. And then if we go down, the first move would be a bit of 285 pips. Then the second move would be 280 pips again. So this is what we could get. This is the setup that you could use to get the move before it happens, because the market will either go either way. So it can break upside, continue to upside, or it can break to the downside and continue to the downside. So that's what we have on your JPY. So the next one we have is GBP JPY. Start on daily to not waste any time, and also just show you what we've been claiming also from the previous setups. So our lows are lows, and then we have that high, but this one has been retested, so we have this one. So on daily, that's what we have. We could also have maybe this one as another high, right? If we have that one as another high, then we're done. We move to 4H. From 4H, we fix our lows, we fix our highs and lows. You see we have that one, this one, we have it up here, and then this one we could just add another one, right? Add another one. I don't know if on daily it does appear, but if it doesn't appear, okay, it does appear. And for H, we have these three highs to make sure that I differentiate them, to make sure that these are highs and also daily highs, not for H. And then this one we have it here, and the next one is here, so I'll just remove it because the difference is like 30 pips. So I just use this one, the bottom one, but I will also consider this level. That's why instead of removing it and making it a daily high, I'm gonna make it a bit of a level just here, and I'm gonna make it dotted so that it doesn't mess everything up. So you can see that this is a level that needs to be considered. So this is a 4-hour low that has to be considered, because this is where the price trend, right? Then this is just a level here where price trend. So what is it that I'm looking forward to on this specific setup? Because also this is a 4-hour lower high. So if I could also do this, you to understand it's also a 4-hour lower high. What am I anticipating on this one? I'm expecting that price could do the very same thing that JPY did, which is to push up to here and then drop. But it could also reject this level right here, and then push to the downside along with JPY and drop more further. But for now, what is it that you want to see? You want to look at 4H and see what is happening in the 4H. As you can see, we are indeed pushing to the upside. If we are indeed pushing to the upside, then it means we are creating a bit of an uptrend, right? An uptrend always is a bit of a channel, and we just look at that. This one would require more patience more than anything. See that this is our higher low on 1 hour, and there's nothing that we don't have anything else. So what is it that I would love to see? I would love to see price. So this is also a 1 hour lower high. So I'm just having another level on a 1 hour. In fact, we could see price doing this. You could see price pushing to the upside, and then from there dropping to the downside. But we just have to wait and see. What I'm anticipating is to see price coming down here, coming up here, and then breaking below this to the downside, right? But also I just need to make this not dotted by line, and then as you can see, we have this channel itself. Let's also make it to be seen. We have these upper touches, and if price breaks out and then also breaks below this higher low, then we could look to sell, I mean to say. And if we do sell, then we could be selling towards this level, and then if we do break, would be looking towards moving to the next level, which would be this one or the next one, which is down here. That's it for GBP JPY. I'm trying to make this unless it's not to be as long. So but then from there we have GBP USD, have daily, and then also have the very same thing, our highs and lows. So we have this as a high, is a low, I meant to say. We have this, another one is a low. We have this as a high. We have this as a high, and another one there. They could maybe make more sense as we go down the time frames, but if they don't, we move them. So we have that. We have this one here. We have this one there. These are all our highs. And then these are our lows. So also need to make sure that I do write them so that they could be differentiated on smaller time frames. And from there we move to the current one. But for ages, these are the lows that we have. But there are 4 hours, so that 4-hour level. No, just gonna take another one, and then this would be my 4H level, and I'm done. Be done with my 4H just to see what is it that the market would want to do. And then now I move to 1H, right? So another thing that you could see from afar is that we are indeed trending down, but we have this, right? Now since it doesn't matter, we don't want to try and force it, and then because even if we do this right here, we're still forcing it, right? Because it has broken below this one. But what we're gonna do is look at it in this manner. So I'm gonna look at it in this. Is this the first touch, and the second touch, and the third touch, right? Another one is gonna come from up there, which is now first touch, second touch, and third touch. That's 4 hours. That is what 4 hours is showing us, and that was what we're looking towards for in a 4-hour perspective. So we could have a rejection coming to the upside and continue to the upside, or we could just find price to continue to the downside to the daily low. And if we do break below, what we're gonna see is we move to 1H, just try and see what the market is showing us. So we're gonna have now to market 1, 2. There's no third touch. Then from here we have an inner structure. So the inner structure now is just like this. Also gonna make it dotted. And then we have a lower high, which is a 1-hour lower high, the 1H lower high. And then what we're going to be anticipating on this one is just to see price pushing to the upside and creating and breaking above the 1-hour lower high and also the 4-hour lower high. Then we know that we're in for longs, and I think this could be most probably 200 pips too. So it's also 200 pips. Then this is what we could be anticipating. But if we don't get this, then what we are indeed going to get is the move to the downside here. So that's it on GBP USD. Let's move to USD CAD. Daily, still the same thing. I think I've already drawn the 1H, the 1 daily high. Let me just now finish with the rest. I'll do all of the highs. So you can see there's a daily high, daily high, daily high, daily low, 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 and another low. When I move to 4H, what happens is you can see they're also just fixed up, right? So what we're gonna look at is here that we had a 4-hour high low. Even for last week we had a 4-hour high low. This was a 4H higher low that we considered as to be part of the level that makes more sense on us, or part of the levels that is indeed pushing. So now this is the 4H level that we anticipated that could stop the market from going to the downside. But if it does break to the downside, does break this, then we could see it coming to the 4H, to the daily lower high. So what we have is something like this now, which is a ascending channel, and I think, if I'm not wrong, an ascending channel. So probably you could just fix this from here to just here. I'm not trying to force anything. And if price does push to the upside, then it means we're pushing towards the 28894. And how would we only be taking that? We'll only be taking the push to the upside if price breaks above the 1 hour lower high. And now you will see the 1H lower high. Now when I go to the 1H, as you can see that we do have indeed a 1H lower high right here, where price just turned before going down. That is our 1H lower high. If price breaks above that, then it would make sense to continue to the upside. But if it rejects and breaks here, then you could see price continue to the downside, because now the first analysis that we have was with CAD JPY or USD, I meant to say. It was this, where price broke below this higher low and dropped to the downside. But for now, we could anticipate that it's going to continue, but we shouldn't be so blind to see that it's also doing another channel to the downside, to another falling channel that could easily be broken to the upside and retest and then come here. And if we do have that, then it means we're gonna also have a push to the upside to just here, daily high, and then from there we'll just see what the market will be doing. So I think that's all. And I've done a bit of some time to analyze everything, and apologies for that, but yeah. So this is indeed the content that you're going to be giving. If you have any suggestion, any request, please tell us in the comment section, or if not, just message us on TheAnonymousFX on Instagram, and then we will try to create the content that you request and you want to see. So this is me. Cheers.